Alright, you guys, welcome back to episode 10 of the Pity to Purpose podcast, where I'm here to help you get the transformation you need to help you walk closer in your relationship with God and in your greater purpose. I am your host, Parker Seymour, and in today's episode, we're going to be building off last week's episode where we discussed identifying and eliminating distractions and talk about 3 reasons why I'm going to be taking a break off social media and why you should too. So last week I put a post out on Instagram informing you, those of you who may have seen it, that I'm taking a 30-day break from social media. And I will admit that post was a bit abrupt and sudden, considering I didn't leak out any information beforehand. But it was something that I've been thinking about and considering for at least a month beforehand. And as I already mentioned in this episode, I'm going to discuss 3 reasons why I decided to take a break that will hopefully both inspire and motivate you, and why you should consider joining me as well. So without any further delay, reason number 1 is so that I can recover and take better care of my spiritual health. The biggest reason I'm taking a break is because if I'm going to be a leader in spiritual health and help other people grow in their walks with God, then I need to be sure that I'm doing everything I can to keep myself in great spiritual shape as well. And to be honest with you, there are some areas in my own personal life that I still need healing from, and getting caught up with social media is not necessarily benefiting me and contributing to the growth that I need. And because I use social media a lot to create content around my podcast and clothing brand, I'm on it a lot throughout my day. And for those that follow me on Instagram, you know that I post every day, sometimes twice a day. And when I'm on it so much, it becomes toxic, and I'll find myself distracted from it. And I'll notice that in my downtime, I'll repeatedly catch myself bouncing back and forth between all the different social media apps and doing various different things, trying to somehow convince myself that I'm being productive. But really, I'm just being distracted and neglecting more important things than I need to get done. The reason I myself had to be consistently active on social media was that I'm not in a practical position to where I can justify paying a social media manager to create and post my content for me, considering I'm not making a steady income in my clothing business just yet. I still have apparel on back order for my website, and I'm still early in this podcasting space. So it is going to be a while before it gets to the point where I can earn a respectable income from it. And for anyone who knows, or for anyone who is in the content creation space in YouTube, you know that this stuff does take time. And as a quick note, I feel like I need to mention that for all of you startup YouTubers just doing this just to get rich and famous, I want you to understand that in most cases, this can take 3 to 5 years before you start to gain traction on this platform. Unfortunately, I know that I'm not here for a spotlight, but I know that I'm here to add value for the right people. And I'm here to help my brothers and sisters who want a deeper relationship with God and who want more out of their lives and who want to understand their deeper purposes in life and thrive in them. And speaking of a spotlight, that's going to lead to my second reason, which is deep down, I'm personally not as passionate about social media as what many other people may be. And like I already mentioned, I'm really only on social media primarily to grow and create exposure for my podcast and clothing brand. Other than those 2 things, I don't have much of a need to be on social media. Maybe also to look at funny cat memes or to keep up with family and friends. Now, social media, it is an amazing tool, especially if you're a business owner. But for me, it's not something that I need as a lifeline to experience any true joy in life. And that is why I would often take breaks in the past without any issue, because I don't have that strong dependency or deep passion towards it. Not to sound arrogant in any way, but I know that my life has purpose. And I know I'm not going to thrive in that purpose by wasting my life in a false online world where mostly everything is a counterfeit. And that's true. The truth is that a lot of it is fake. And sure, there are a lot of positive benefits from social media, and there's a lot of pages that I follow that help me grow spiritually. But at the end of the day, too, it is a lot of people showing the highlights of their lives, and you don't see very many videos of people, screaming at the children, or you don't see their failures in life. We see everyone's happiness and success, giving us that false picture that other people have, perfect lives, and they don't have perfect lives. And I'm not saying this because I'm hating on anyone, but I'm saying it because it's the truth, and someone needs to hear it. I'm just calling it out for what it is. We have to be careful that we don't consume so much social media to the point that it starts to consume us. It's sneaky, and we have to be careful. That's why I'm taking a break, so I can free myself from the constant demands and regain more clarity in my life moving forward. The last major reason I'm taking a break is because I'm going to focus on different ways to market my business and free content without relying on social media. This is the one that I'm most excited about because I wasn't really ready to take a break from social media until I had another project to focus that extra time towards, or until it actually made sense for me to. And there's another source that I've been learning from on how to grow in business without social media. And I've been working on some different blueprints to explore those avenues even deeper. And the more I've been the more I've been learning about these different paths of business growth and exposure, the more I've been leaning less towards the idea of social media being the only way that I can grow. I like the ability that social media provides to get content and products in front of target audiences, but what I don't like is the idea of me being at the mercy of Instagram or Facebook and relying solely on those platforms to work in my favor to bring the growth that I need. I like being able to diversify where I can market and create exposure for the things that I'm building. And also, in conjunction to that, the last time I took a break from creating content, I came back strong with this podcast. And now we are at our 10th episode. And I've been consistent with putting out weekly content since then. And sure, it's nothing massive, but at the same time, it's something. And I feel like I'm giving back, and I feel like I'm contributing. With all that in consideration, I do look forward with great anticipation that something great is going to come from this season, because now I'm going to be able to take a lot of my time back and put it towards something new and some awesome projects to later benefit you and help you strengthen your walk with God. So those are the three main core reasons I'm taking a break for 30 days from social media, and why you should also consider joining me as well. And I hope that somewhere in that you were able to take one valuable concept and apply it to your own life this week. And I also made a video on this topic back in April on my YouTube channel as part of the Journey to Entrepreneurship series that I started back before I transitioned to podcasting. And in that video, I talked about some negative effects of social media and how it can affect us as people and how we interact in daily life. I mentioned some great points in that episode, so definitely be sure to go back and watch that video. I'll be sure to link that in the description of this episode. After you watch that episode, I want you to apply one action step to your personal walk with God this week by joining me in this fast. So maybe you can't take a full 30 days, but maybe you could do just 1 day, 3 days, or maybe even a week off of social media just to detox and refocus on your relationship with God. Taking a break from Instagram is something that I've had to do many times in my walk with God during seasons where I'm feeling a little bit dry. And I would encourage you to try this if you were also someone watching or listening who is feeling stuck or like you're in a dry place spiritually, because I guarantee you that this will help you in some way. But alright, awesome people, I know this was a good bit in this week's episode, and because I'm a natural encourager, I just want to affirm to you that I believe in you, and I believe that you will succeed as long as you're intentional in putting in the work and sacrifice that it will require you to grow in your faith and your purpose. So that is all I have for you in this week's episode. Thank you for tuning in with me to another episode. Again, I am your host, Parker Seymour. Be sure to subscribe and check out the links in the description below, and we will see you next week in another Pity to Purpose episode.